Jak się masz? Today we are back almost at home in the beautiful paradise, little beautiful paradise I discovered few years back. Look at that. I think we got the low tide and there is still plenty to check. Mainly I'm still interested in investigate what's under those cliffs, especially on the right hand where the lighthouse is located. I haven't been there yet. I only walk once toward the left, toward the Rockham Beach. So if the low tide permits, if there is still low tide, we will check how much we can explore. I can see there is a low tide, however I'm not really sure if it's like how low it is and if it will be low enough for us to go there. Oh, I can see, not being funny, but I can see there will be also a beautiful hunt today. Look at that. Do you see the parasol mushroom? 1, 2, 3. So there will be a beautiful dinner tonight. Oh, I already like it. I like it very much. This is a new place for the parasol mushrooms. I didn't know about it before, although seems to be not a lot, but there is still few growing around. Very nice. Oh yes, you can see already what I'm talking about. That is the area we did explore a little bit, I think 2 years ago. But on my right there is still a lot of unexplored rocks. The tide, however, is not like super low, and I can already see there will be some difficulty on the right hand, but first we need to find a place where we can safely go down that cliff. Seems to be changed slightly since last time I've been here. I have to find a good place to get down, somewhere here. Alright, we are. Bit crazy in here, I have to say. But not completely impossible. Wow, I think we will have to pick up perhaps a different day, as this part is, well, the water will rise right now and it's already quite high in here, so I don't want to take too much risk, but definitely it's worth to see. What's on this side, if anything changed since the last time. Going around that island, I know it's impossible with dry foot, because as always in the places like this, the water keeps on leaving a little pond of water that is impossible to cross. And yes, I was absolutely right, nothing changed here. We will have to go, if we want to see what's on the other side, we have to go around. We did this on the last trip in here, therefore I will show you closer that little cave that looks quite interesting from the top of the cliff. Indeed, it's quite small, very small, not very deep. I would say it's still forming, however the cliffs in here are not like super stable. They keep on collapsing all the time. That's why every time anything deeper forms, it just collapses from the top. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful squid shell. By the way, over my trips last few years, I have to admit I did several mistakes. I just found out recently, because of the unique habitat that pretty much everything here creates. According to the 1949 something, the Coastline Protection Act, I'm not supposed to pick up anything whatsoever. That includes any kind of shells and everything. So yeah, always remember, when you on a seaside in North Devon and you want to take something as a memory, just hide it well, because if some policeman would like to be nasty to you, he has right. Passages here are not very nice. You can see behind me very steep cuts. It's not very nice always to walk through places like this. We will go back the same way we came here. Today sun is already very low, which creates difficulty for me sometimes to spot what lies beneath my feet. Another wet pond stops me from going. Looks to me like today's exploration may not be a very big, at least a bit under the cliff, because as you can see here, water still drip out toward the ocean, while here the water is already flowing in. Normally, during a proper low tides, that area is still uncovered, is not flooded with water. Okay, let's go back to the face of the cliff. I got an idea that perhaps it will be a good, way better way of exploring that area on the kayak. Okay, we have to climb up, back again. The very top bit is the nastiest part. I will try to film all my way up. However, believe me, it's not the easiest of the tasks. That's one way I could climb up. This one is the second, and I don't actually know which one is the safest. However, as always, climbing up seem to be way easier than going down, if you can see what's on the wall under your feet. Okay, we got it. So as you can see, that whole area below, all this you can see right now, is something we want to go to at some point. And as I mentioned, it looks like the easier way, maybe on the kayak. You know that place already from my previous movies. It's a bull point with its lighthouse. A beautiful place, absolutely magical little paradise on earth. You can come here, park in nearby holiday park, completely free, and then it's about 15 minutes walk into that beautiful area. And here you can pretty much sit everywhere you like. Everywhere is nice and beautiful. We leave the parasol mushrooms for later, because I won't have a means to take it with me and jump the rocks. And let's move in front of the lighthouse. Look at that. That one is not ready yet. Will be ready perhaps tomorrow, maybe in 2 days time. and his little brothers next. So that's the place we went down. Further is a Rockham beach and the seals spotting place, and we want to be down here one day. But I tell you what, if for any reason you are unable to get down, you can still explore all the beats that stick far into the ocean, right from the top. There is at least 3, if not 4 of them, and we're gonna go and hopefully today we check all 4 of them. The place is not only a lighthouse, but is also holiday cottages in here. And if you're brave enough, for example, you can spend exciting holidays in a place like that. Look at this. That slope actually could allow us access down there, perhaps, with the rope for security. And look at that. It's not far off the cliff in this place. Somebody is already lucky on holidays. That is the first place. Even seagulls nesting under. As you can see, entry is not very wide, but further the place is actually quite safe. You don't feel like there's not enough space and you're gonna fall down. So it's quite nice experience. Let's go to the second island. And down there seems to be nothing like super interesting. Just a slope, almost vertical wall. So looks to me like we got 3 fingers sticking into the ocean. A lighthouse. Of course, these days it's operated automatically, and obviously it doesn't need to be noisy during the foggy days, because it has electronic beacon, I expect, that sends the signal to the ships. But yeah, back in the days it used to house some lighthouse men, I expect, who operate the whole system. And I also spoke to a friend of mine who was born not far from this place. He was living in the nearest village, and he said that he does remember the times when it was during the foggy day, making like all day long. The lighthouse seems to still have the holes for the sound, but I bet they're not operational today. No need to be. That is the second beat sticking into the sea, the most prominent one, but I'm most interested in the last one, which I haven't walked yet before. So that one will be completely new discovery. And here you can see beautiful Bennett's Cove, and further down is a Lee Bay with the Lee Beach. Beautiful place as well, with the low tide footpath going from the pretty much like you could call it a harbor area, although there is no harbor, all the way to the cove that house a beach. Here we are, we entering the third finger, if I can call it like that. Oh, there is another one also down there. Very, very tiny one, and possibly oh, what a beautiful nature in here. This is like undercut going down to the sea. You have to be very, very careful in places like this. Always. You never know what and when it's gonna go. Especially those bits of soil still at the top. It's very soft in here also, so you have to be careful while walking. It's very easy to trip over and tumble down, but wow, I don't think that will provide any I don't think that will provide any access anywhere. As you can see behind me, no way. Maybe there on that last bit, although it seems to have a very, very tiny reach at the end, that may be difficult to walk all the way down, but yes. However, like I said before, the tide is already quite high, and to be honest, I think it never goes down, it never uncovers the whole coastline in here, so you got a bit that you have to conquer in the water. So yeah, right now you can see pretty lot of inaccessible areas. I know you can do it into the Bennett's Cove, but not, it's very difficult to do it with the dry foot. I try to walk this way. I hope nothing will slide. You can see right now the area is quite steep. I'm using pretty much a grass that is sliding down the slope to avoid the area that has already slid. I think that's how you say, the area that did slide. Oh, that's the safe form. You can see a lot of sort of like shelves, I mean places that suggest perhaps there was a footpath in here at some point, maybe, but it's quite difficult to figure out if there are no cracks that you will drop because you just walk on a... Oh, look at that! So somebody has obviously climbed in here. We got a rope. Yeah, a rope that helps to get down here, right on the rocks. So yes, I was right, people walk here. Look at that, look what's down there. And you never know if those cats are not somewhere at the top, just covered by the grass. But here seems to be pretty decent and easy to climb area. Very interesting. So yes, we did discover something new after all today. And yeah, I guess it's relatively easy to walk in this direction and you can be down here. But my question is, do you really need that rope, since you can walk you can walk down here? Beautiful. All right. We're already in a seawater area, I would say. The water must splash. Not only splash, it must cover that area every now and then, because you can see everywhere where balanuses live, there must be at least a period of the day when they constantly submerged. Those are the sea animals. Okay, we are almost at the water level, at least at this time. And we can see that I can enter from this side a little bit. Well, that's what I was hoping, but it is a deep cut here, the one that has to be conquered. You can probably walk from that area. Climbing up would be way easier. Again, climbing up would be way easier than walking from the bottom. But if you can see against the sun, there is a yeah. If it wasn't for that cut, it would be quite walkable area. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back up, and then we can see the last finger. Which way did we come here? Funny how in such a small area you can still get lost if you don't remember properly your way up, or in that case your way down. Alright, we are back up. So that rope is just for a thrill. It's not really necessary, hence you can just walk further down and go down in here. Let's go back and then we can take a walk over the longest stretch out into the sea. Tell you what, it's nice and hot today, and that requires a lot of water to drink. We will go again well around all the way to the top. We don't need unnecessary risk. Just like I said, I put my feet before just in that hole and it went deep right up to my knee. So yes, you still need to be very careful, even in the innocent, or maybe not so innocent, but even on a meadow like this that you think it's safe to walk. Whoa, another one. Those are simply created, I guess, by pieces of soil and grass just trying to go down, and then they build up. Oh, but yes, I was right, it's a clearly visible footpath in here. Right now I can see it. We are right in front of the last beat and we just enter that last place sticking out into the sea. You can see for yourself how close to the edge that footpath is, and that's not the end, because there will be very narrow beat just ahead of us. As you can see right now from the top, there is not a lot of rock on both sides. And now there is not a lot of rock on my right side. And here we are. That is the longest stretching into the sea beat. There is a lot of heather growing over it. It probably looks beautiful in a season, but not right now, obviously, because the heather needs a late summer. And I can see some pole which indicates people try to climb a rope in this place as well. Yeah, right on the very edge in here. It's a bit rotten right now, probably unused for a long time. Hole where you can hook the rope and possibly climb. That's beautiful. Cliff on that side or on that side. Okay, let's go back up. Oh, you see the first header start actually blooming and it looks beautiful. So you can imagine yourself once everything is in a purple. It must be amazing, just like the Foreland Point. Header actually is our friend, not foe, because it provides quite a good grip. And you can see the area where we would come if it wasn't for that cut full of water. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely. I think I can call it a paradise of North Devon, or at least the Ilfracombe and Woolacombe area. I don't know about you, but this is way better for me than sandy beaches of Woolacombe or Saunton Beach. No people, or at least very limited amount of people. Nice and quiet. That's of course until the Polish explorer starts to fly his drone. Okay, look at that. Absolutely amazing. Not a lot of area to cross. Just a tiny bridge that still keeps it connected with the land. And another reminder of be very careful. Look at that. This is inland. We are well inland, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. You may walk on what looks like beautiful and innocent meadow, and that innocent beautiful meadow hides surprise like this. Alright, that's it for today. That was a beautiful trip. Now I just sit on that bench and wait for the sunset to come. That's it from Bull Point. I mean, that's not the last trip in here, I can imagine, because I really like that spot, and I got few other ideas about this place. One including a night walk on the southwest coast path, perhaps, we'll see how interesting that is, and yeah, how it is to navigate at night in here. Obviously I will have some light. It's not like a completely wild trip, but maybe we can encounter something more, you know, like, who knows, maybe a deer or something, or some tourists in a tent, whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. From that beautiful spot right now, I would like to say I see you on another exploration. Like I said, that's not the last time we here. It's my new favorite spot. I mean, just refreshed, but I did like that place always. And yeah, I also discovered a nice e-bike route that goes in here, so I can imagine we will be coming back in here more times for more movies. For today that's it. I see you on another exploration. High five!